Hello, sweethearts. Welcome to the Tapping Circle. I'm so glad that you've made time to be here with you, to be here with us, and to be here for yourself and the world. You know, you are an embodiment of what's happening in this world, just as I am, just as these sweet beings are, and each of us that does our tiny small part uplifts and brings us all to the next level. So when you shift, we all shift. So I'm grateful that you're here doing your work, and I know that you're going to reap the benefits because we do every time we're willing to humble down, check it out, move it through, and bring love into the situation, which is all we're doing here. So thank you for being here with us. Hello, Erica, and hello, Rida. I do this every time. I'm going to get better at this.
It's Rydia.
Rydia, thank you. Say it to my ears. That helps, Rydia. Hello to Surya, who you just heard speak up and help me there. He is our knight in shining armor. He is beaming in live from Colorado. He's actually on vacation right now, you guys. And he's taking a little time out from vacation in the pine trees to support the tapping circle. We have Mateo here in the gold shirt in Austin, just in the house next door, beaming his love and support. And many members of Team Love that you will see over time popping in and out of the circle to support this process. Hello to Celestine Martin in Montreal, Quebec. Jeremy in Fairfax, California. Shelley B. in New Brunswick, Canada. Thank you to Cole. I haven't seen you here for a while in Mount Shasta, California. And hi, Shelley from Iowa. And let's see, I just see more and more people popping in. It's really good to see you all here. The theme, as you can see up there in the chat, is magnifying money and miracles. I know that we tapped on money a few weeks ago, but I tuned in and I was like, let's just tap about how in love we are. Spirit was like, honey, they're not all in love right now. You're in love. I'm in love. Okay. But what we need to tap on for the group is this financial stuff and actually learning how to tune our vibration towards what we want and clearing away anything that's blocking us from feeling worthy, capable, or ready for what it is that we're bringing into our lives. So we're going to do another manifestation tap in the circle, which is always good. And we're going to be magnifying the thing that you want to bring into your life. So this is another great opportunity to bring in something for yourself. Hi, Hero and Callista and A Somerset, tried and true, almost here every week. I see your name. And I also want to say I salute you guys on replay. I know not everybody has the same time zone and the same night of the week free. And I do get messages throughout the week for all you guys and ladies watching on replay and doing these videos. So I really appreciate your dedication. All right. Welcome to the circle, everyone. We are about to pop into the core causes questions. You know the drill. We're going to take 5 minutes, turn off the audio and the video. You're going to see the core causes questions scroll up on the screen. There's a live survey button that's going to pop up that says get started. The survey is really for you. And the reason why we take time to do this is because you've got a presenting issue which brought you to the circle. There's something stressful or something that you want to work on where you feel stuck or you feel hampered. And these questions are designed to help you get underneath what's presenting. It's sort of like going to the doctor saying, I'm sneezing and I have a fever. They don't treat you for sneezing and a fever. They ask you, how long has this been happening? Okay, they might draw blood. They might take your blood pressure and they get underneath it and they're like, oh, you've got this virus. You've got this bacteria. You've got this going on. Let's take an x-ray, right? So those things are like the core causes questions. We're getting down underneath all these little superficial symptoms and we're tapping from the bottom and clearing these old belief systems, basically, that got laid in before you even had a filter that may be presenting currently in your life because you actually never took the time to go back and say, let's see, does the belief I started at 5 still make sense to run at 25, 35, 45, 55? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that was a 5-year-old experience and a 5-year-old mind and a 5-year-old fury or grief or sadness or whatever it was. And I actually can release that now and update my nervous system to something that's a bit more expansive, right? So we're going to do the core causes survey. It takes 5 minutes, and we will see you in 5. You want to do it, Surya? Thank you so much, everybody. Really happy that you're here. Okay, everyone, welcome back. I want to remind you, if you're new here, that we don't have audio during the core causes so that you can focus. And if that's too distracting, maybe we can put some music or something in the background for you in the future. But right now, it's just you and yourself and these questions, okay? So we are going to start the tapping process now, which is why you're here, right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to do the points on my body. You're going to do the points on your body. We're going to follow along, call and response, and you're going to personalize the session for yourself. There's going to be a lot of fill in the blanks, and you're going to put in the specifics so that this actually goes into the neural network that is coded for the information that we're talking about. And you'll understand very quickly what we're doing here, even if this is your first time. So massaging the front of your chest, feeling around for a tender spot in the front of your chest, big deep breath, big sigh. And know that off-gassing is a normal part of this, and that could be yawning, burping, tingling, waves of energy, movement of emotions. All you need to do is continue to follow along with us and breathe deeply and relax during this process, and you're going to get safely out the other side. So massaging the front of the chest, tuning into the issue that you're working on during this session. Big deep breath. Big sigh. Repeat after me. Even though I have this issue, say what your issue is. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. This issue. Say what the issue is again. State it out loud. I'm tapping the temples. Big breath. Part of me is so tired of dealing with this. Tapping the cheeks. This is stressful. Tapping under the nose. I'm open to loving and respecting myself, even if this is an ongoing thing for me. Tapping under the lips. Big, noisy breath. I'm tapping the chest. This issue, say the issue that you're working on again. And tapping the front of the rib cage, bottom of the ribs. This issue, say the issue again. And tapping up to the side of the rib cage. Part of me feels a lot of stress, and what else about this? Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel fear, exhaustion? Say it again. I feel stress, and what else? And tap the inside of the wrist. This stress, and fill in the blank. And breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb. This stress. Tap the index finger. I can feel it where? Where do you feel the tension in your body related to this issue? I feel it in the back of my neck. I feel it in my shoulders. I feel it in my belly. Tap the middle finger. Even though I've been carrying this in my body, tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the little finger and breathe. This stress. I'm tapping the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though my body is holding on to this stress related to what? Tapping the top of the head. This stress related to, okay, side of the head and back of the head. I love and forgive myself. Tapping the temples, even though this has been really hard on me. Big breath, just tuning into how hard this has been for you. We're going to tap for a few seconds just on that struggle. This has been really, really difficult. Tapping under the nose. It's made me feel very what? Is it concerned, worried, afraid, angry? Tapping under the lips. This fear, this anger, whatever the feeling is for you. Say that feeling right now. Say it again, tapping the chest. This, say the feeling. Tapping the front of the ribs again. This feeling of, say it again. And tap the side of the ribs and repeat it one more time. Tap the inside of the wrist. Even though I'm used to holding on to this and just dealing with it. Tapping the side of the thumb. Notice I've changed hands, so see if you can swap hands. I'm used to dealing with this feeling by doing what? What do? Do you ignore it? Do you suppress it? Do you pretend it's not happening? Do you numb it? I'm used to dealing with this feeling by doing what? How do you avoid it? Storing it in my body, stuffing it down with what? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the little finger and breathing. And the side of the hand, even if part of me carries the stress chronically where? And tap the top of the head and breathe. I accept the part of me that is holding on to this stress. Tap the eyebrows. And just for a minute or two, I want you just to accept this natural response you have to holding on to the stress, the anger, the anxiety, whatever is here about this issue, and breathe. And tapping under the lips. I'm allowing myself the possibility of healing what's underneath this. And tapping your chest. I'm open to to healing what's underneath this. Okay. Tapping the front of the ribs. What's underneath this? We're going to ask ourselves 3 times here. What's underneath this? Tap the side of the ribs. What's really underneath this? Tapping the inside of the wrist. What's really underneath this? And tap the side of the thumb and breathe. And tapping the index finger. Even though a part of me wants to avoid this, tap the middle finger. Another part of me is ready to release the beliefs, the fears, and the memories that have kept this rolling forward. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. The beliefs. Tap the little finger. The fears. Tap the side of the hand and all these memories. Tap the top of the head. A part of me got conditioned to hold on to what? Tap the eyebrows. Because back when I was, how old? When do you think this issue started? Back when I was 23, back when I was 10. Tap the temples. I remember an experience. See if you can remember where you think the root of this started. I remember one time when what happened? Tapping under the nose, which may have led to this issue. Tapping under the lips. I remember a whole series of times After which I decided what? What did you decide was true about you or the world? Tap your chest. A long time ago that you think may be the fountain of your ribs. Describe what it was that was going on or what you were learning. I was experiencing what? And tap the side of the ribs, and I started to believe what? Tap the inside of the wrist. Let's trade wrists again. This belief. Let's stick with the first belief that popped up in your head. We're going to call that belief 1, and then we're going to do a second one called belief 2, okay? This strong belief that says what? What did it tell you about you or the world? Tap the side of the thumb. This belief, say it again. Tap the index finger. And ever since then, I've been living like that, like that's the truth. Tap the middle finger. Ever since then, I've been living like that's the truth. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the little finger. No matter how long this belief has been real for me. Tap the side of the hand. Let's state that limiting belief one more time. This belief where I decided what? That nobody liked me, or that I was unworthy, or that people couldn't be trusted. Tap the top of the head. Even though this belief has been manifesting in my life in this particular issue, say the issue that you're working on again. Tap the eyebrows. You're doing good. Tap the temples. It's okay. Tap the cheeks. I accept the part of me that wants to hold on to this belief because it happens so many times. Tapping under the lips. It was true for so long. Tap the chest. And frankly, I don't know who I'd be without this. Tap the front of the ribs. I've built a big part of my identity around this thought. Tap the side of the ribs. Tuning into what part of your personality or identity you've built around this truth from your childhood. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I accept the part of me that wants to cling to this belief because if I let it go, what bad thing might happen? If I stopped identifying with this, I might make a mistake. I might get in trouble. Tap the index finger. I might get hurt. Tap the middle finger. I might lose something. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I might not be safe. Tap the little finger and breathe. Part of me wants to hold on to this belief even though it doesn't make me happy. Part of me thinks it makes me safe. Tapping the side of the hand. Does this belief actually make me safe now at the age I am? Tap the top of the head. Does this belief make me safe? Tap the eyebrows. And the feelings that come with this belief are what? Is it mistrust, fear? Is it pride, anger? What is the primary feeling that comes along with this belief? Tapping under the lips. This belief, name your belief again, and the feeling of what? And tapping the chest. I'm open to loving and respecting myself, even if a part of me refuses to let go of the feeling of what? That accompanies the belief called what? I'm what? Or the world is what? Or men or women are what? Tap the front of the ribs and breathe. I'm giving myself the possibility of updating the information in my body now. Tap the side of the ribs. That information came in a long time ago under very different circumstances. And tapping the inside of your wrist. That information came in a long time ago under very different conditions. Tap the side of the thumb and breathe. That time's passed. Tap the index finger. That war is over. Tap the middle finger. We're going to say that 3 times. That war is over. Bottom of the 4th finger. That war is over. Tap the little finger. That old struggle is over. Tap the side of the hand. It's safe for me to update what is. Tap the top of the head. I'm open to forgiving myself for holding on to this remaining pain, stress, or trauma. Tap the eyebrows. That's limited my ability to imagine what? What good thing are you wanting to imagine or magnify in your life that these old fears and feelings and beliefs have been stunting? For example, it's too much work, it's too hard, it's too late, I'm not good enough to have what? See if you can put all that in a sentence and tap your chest. I'm allowing myself the possibility of releasing the struggle that happened so long ago, so I don't have to keep repeating it now. So I see Linda in the chat saying, no, that old struggle is not over. I'm doing worse in this math class than I did the first time through. So tap the front of your ribs. And Linda and everyone else, I want you to go back to what you think the root of this is. Because usually what we're experiencing, if it's not going well, is an iteration of something that got set in earlier. It may not have been childhood, but it very well may have been. Let's go back and clear that stress. See if you had stress in math classes early. Working on that stuff will liberate you in present time. So tap the inside of the wrist. I'm open to forgiving the version of myself that was still struggling. And feeling what? What were you feeling while you were struggling with the situation that you're working with? Were you feeling embarrassed, ashamed, guilty, inadequate? Tap the side of the thumb. Even though I was really feeling what? Feeling A. We're going to tap on A, B, and C. So pick 3 strong feelings that you were feeling at that time. We're going to go feeling A, feeling B, feeling C. So I was really feeling a lot of what? Tap the index finger, feeling what back then? Tap the middle finger, say it again. Tap the bottom of the 4th finger. I accept the part of me that got stuck with these old feelings of. Tap the little finger and locked that in as something that would continue to happen. Tap this side of your hand. Part of me decided that was always going to be the way things were. Tapping the top of the head. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if I locked this in Tapping the side of the head, the back of the head, and over to the eyebrows. A long time ago, tap the temples. It's safe to release this old feeling of what? Tap the cheeks. I accept it now. Tapping under the nose. Go back and give that version of you some empathy, compassion, and understanding. That was really tough. Talking to this previous version of you, saying to that version of you, I'm sorry you had to go through that all by yourself. Tap the chest. I'm really sorry you had to go through this all by yourself. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm sorry you had to go through this all by yourself. Inside of the wrist, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the thumb. Even though I had to go through this all by myself, I don't have to go through it alone anymore. I don't have to isolate, abandon myself, or run away. Tap the middle finger and breathe. I have compassion for what was going on back then. Think again about what was going on and send some love back there. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. What were you feeling back then? I was feeling a lot of what? Stress, anxiety, loneliness, frustration. Let's move on to feeling B. I was feeling a lot of what back then? And tap the side of the hand. I accept the part of me that got really, really stuck in this feeling of what? Tapping the top of the head. I'm giving myself the possibility of dismantling and resolving what's underneath this issue. Tap the eyebrows. Okay, tuning into feeling B. We're staying back in the past, thinking about what was going on when this issue first started. We've been tapping on one feeling. Now we're going to move to the second one. Whatever the next strongest feeling is. Even though a part of me still remembers feeling very what? Tapping under the lips. It's okay. I accept the part of me that got stuck, locked up, broken down. Tap the chest. Decided that this is how it was always going to be for me. Afraid that this is how it would always going to be. Tap the front of the ribs. I'm allowing myself to finally heal what happened. Tap the side of the ribs to resolve these unspoken feelings of what? Inside of the wrist. Let's do the opposite wrist. The unspoken feelings of what? Tap the side of the thumb. These remaining unspoken feelings. Tap the index finger. I've never allowed myself to face what I felt. Tap the middle finger. And now it's okay for me to admit this. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm bringing compassion and understanding to this place that was very isolating and hard for me. Tap the little finger. Part of me didn't even know if I was going to make it through. Tap the side of the hand. This part of me can finally defrost and come back to life. Tap the top of the head. This part of me is finally defrosting and coming back to life. Okay, very good, everybody. This is a big one. Tapping the eyebrows. It's safe for me to finally acknowledge this unspoken part of me that's underneath this issue. Tap the cheeks. It still feels what? Tapping under the nose and breathing. See if you can tune into that feeling that we were just working on. See if you can still remember that feeling. Tapping the chest. I accept this remaining feeling of what? Tapping the front of the ribs and breathing again. And tapping the side of the ribs. I'm open to releasing this remaining feeling of, say it again. Tap the inside of the wrist, no matter how deep this goes. Tap the side of the thumb, no matter how long this has been a part of me. Tap the index finger, even if I've been carrying this my entire life. Tap the middle finger, and it's been affecting what? And my ability to create what? What has it been blocking you from being able to do? And this is where we're getting into the manifestation part. I know this has been blocking my ability to bring in what? Tap the little finger. And I'm giving myself the possibility of healing this. Tap the side of the hand, creating more what for myself? Giving myself the possibility of creating more. Say what it is that you want to magnify. And tap the eyebrows. Ask yourself, am I willing to trade what I've just become aware of for the ability to have what it is that I want? And this is where the big handoff comes. So you're going to trade some limiting beliefs, some old identities, some limiting fears, some bad experiences for a new experience, the possibility of something beautiful, and a sense of wholeness in this area. This is a very personal inside choice. No one can come in and make you do this, but you're standing here on the cusp of this choice being like, well, I could still hold the grudge. I could still hold the memory. I could still decide that this is just how it is. And the universe actually has to line up and agree with you and give you what you're asking for by your internal demand, your emotional demand that says this is what's true. Okay, that's your requisition form. It will give you what you insist on emotionally is true. So what we're doing is gently easing you off of that truth and saying, well, if we process this with enough love and attention, can I now release the stress of that, release the pain, know that it's been heard, know that it's been felt, give it to the divine, give it up on the altar of truth and say, okay, that is truly a horrible thing, a sad situation. Am I now willing to hold something else is true for that younger version of me and the version of me now? Big, deep breath. So we're going to pause here with that question hanging in the balance. I know this was a really big kind of first road in. We're going to pause and tune in. Ask yourself, where are you at now versus where you were? What number would you give your issue now compared to where you were? So in the core causes questions, I asked you to rate your issue on intensity as a whole from 1 to 10. Put in the chat, if you're chatting with us, where you're at from numerically. Say you were a 10, maybe you're a 3, maybe you're an 8, maybe you're still a 10. Let us know in the chat. If you're on replay, I want you to keep tapping and tuning into where you're at with this. So I'm seeing Mateo has dropped from an 8 to a 6. Callista's gone from a 7 to a 6. Surya is a 6 to an 8. Callista says, I feel sleepy. And that sleepy feeling is this energy coming out of her body. Rida is an 8 to a 5, feeling ready for change. Beautiful. She's already turning a corner. Noble, 9 down to a 6. Great. Mila Inga, 8 down to a 5. Shilly, 8 down a 9 down to an 8, still has feelings of not being safe. Lisa G, you're halfway there. 8 to a 4, 9 to a 7 for Rachel. Hero, 9 to a 5, feeling super motivated. Beautiful. Josie, I saw you yesterday in LA. 9 to a 9, still hanging there, recognizing the feelings of hopelessness. Just fine. Hang out there. Linda, a 9, dropping 1 point down to, a 10 down to a 9. She decided that math was a boy thing, and being stupid in math was one bid for femininity with my parents who wanted me to be a boy. Huge realization. Hang out there. Something is cracking open. Rick has defrosted. He's gone a little bit backwards here. He thought he was a 7. He's up to a 9, it looks like, which can often be the truth when people are defrosting something that they haven't been paying attention to. And I imagine those numbers will start dropping for him. Celestine has gone up 1.2, also defrosting. Ursula, 9 to an 8. Beautiful. Erica, I feel like the energy has me floating, but I can't pinpoint exactly where the issue comes from. Maybe many areas, and that is true. Erica Sky, hang out with us. You're going through kind of an altered state process, and it's okay that you don't know exactly right now. Okay, Charlie Cross started at a 6, rose to an 8, dropping to a 7, doing the wave pattern. Okay, feeling a little bit defensive, but it's relaxing. Here we go. Even though I still have this issue with, say what it is. Big deep breath. Tapping the eyebrow. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the temple. This issue with what? Tapping the cheeks and breathing. I accept the part of me that wants to disassociate or check out. This part of me that wants to disassociate or check out. Tapping the chest. Part of me wants to push away what I actually want to receive. Tap the front of the ribs. Part of me is pushing away what I want to receive. Tune in and see if that is true for you. Tap the inside of the wrist. Another way to say that would be, do I feel resistance to healing what this issue is about? Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm giving myself the possibility of healing this safety issue that I have deep down underneath this. Tap the index finger, tuning in to the part of you that feels like you need to keep things as they've been in order to get something. So Linda had a really good example of, I pushed math away because I thought my parents wanted a boy and I was a girl. So being a girl meant I wasn't good at math, right? So tap the middle finger, tuning in and being like, okay, what's my defense strategy here? Holding on to this brings me what? Protects me from what? Think about that and speak it out loud as we tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Part of me is trying to hold on to what in order to get what? Tapping your little finger, even if part of me believes that I need to keep doing this in order to protect myself from what? Tapping the side of the hand. I see Mateo laughing there. He's having an aha moment. Here we go. Picking that lock. Ready? I'm defending myself from experiencing what? Tapping the top of the head. Part of me is defending myself from experiencing Sides of the head, back of the head. Tapping the temples and the cheeks. Part of me wants to protect myself from what? Tapping the front of your cheeks and breathing. Tapping under the nose. It's safe for me to release this fear from my body and the old belief that says I've got to keep doing what in order to protect myself from what? Let's say it out loud. I've got to keep doing what? We're going to say it 3 times. We're just going to insist for a minute. We're going to throw a little micro fit. Here we go. I've got to keep doing what? Tap the side of the rib. Say it again. I've got to keep doing this. Say what it is exactly, specifically. One more time with feeling. Ready? Throw your fit. I've got to keep doing what? Tap the side of the thumb because I'm protecting myself from what? Tap the index finger. Protecting myself from middle finger. Part of me is afraid that if I stop doing what? That what's going to happen? Tap the bottom of the 4th finger. That I'm going to get in trouble. That I'm going to be embarrassed. That I'm going to get hurt. What is it that you're afraid of? Tap the little finger. I accept this part of me. Tap the side of the hand. No matter how long it's been this way. Protecting me in some weird way by holding on to what? Tapping the top of the head. Protecting me or trying to protect me. Tapping the eyebrows and breathing. Tapping the temples. I'm open to loving and expressing myself. Tapping the cheeks, releasing my fear. And this old protection device, tapping under the lips, that may not actually be working for me. So let's tune in. Is holding on to this particular feeling or belief actually protecting or preventing anything? Or could it possibly be drawing to you the very thing that you're resisting experiencing? In other words, is me being afraid of this actually manifesting this issue being scary? So pause for a second and tap with me. I want to talk to you again about how manifestation works. What you believe comes into your life. What you actually emotionally believe is real and true, even if it's wackadoodle, even if you got that belief when you were a kid, even if that belief came in when you weren't looking, if you really believe it deep down, that will manifest in living color in front of you and prove to you that you were right. So we often want the world around us to give us a different version, and then we will update our belief system. That seems logical. But the interesting thing is that we're creator beings. So what we believe inside, we hold on to, we filter for facts that match that belief, and we draw experiences to us that validate that belief until it is proven again and again to be true, even if that belief is counterproductive or sabotaging our joy, happiness, abundance, spiritual development, relationships, money, everything. Okay? So tune in and see, is this part of me that's afraid actually bringing to me what I don't want to actually have happen, what I'm trying to prevent? And if that's true, which it is for most people, we're going to forgive ourselves right now, and we're going to shift our belief to something that's more productive and see if we can get your brain to grab hold of a belief with the same kind of magic that we're talking about, but this time, instead of it being a destructive belief, it's a creative belief. Okay? So we are 8 minutes from nearing the end of our first hour. And for those who are only in it for an hour, you've got 8 minutes to finish up. And the rest of us are going to have a bonus round because you've got a little bit more time and energy. And we're going to go an extra mile, tapping under the lips. Here we go. Tuning into this limiting belief. Deconstructing it. Ready? It's okay for me to shift this old belief that tells me what? I have to do what in order to protect myself from what? Tap the front of the ribs. Because this is not getting me where I want to go. Tap the side of the ribs. I'm giving myself a new possibility. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm giving myself the brand new possibility, and it's okay. It doesn't have to manifest into a big giant tree tomorrow. We're putting a seed in. That seed might grow quite quickly if you water it with your love. Tap the side of the thumb. This new belief, which is the opposite of my old survival strategy. Okay, this is where you're going to do the swap-a-roo. My old survival strategy told me what? Say it again. Big, heavy sigh. Tap the middle finger. My new belief is this. You're going to state it like you've just written it for the first time. I deserve love. I'm allowing myself to live in a prosperous life. What is it that you're asking yourself to believe? It may not feel 100% true yet, but we're going to go there. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm giving myself the possibility of anchoring this new belief that says what? This new positive belief. Tap the little finger, repeat it again out loud and say it like you mean it. Come on, let's go here. Big breath. That's good. Tap the side of your hand. I'm allowing myself to anchor this new belief. Say it again. Tap the top of your head. And I'm allowing myself to magnify this new belief inside my body. Okay, this is something I've never done in the circle before. Tap your eyebrows. I want you to spread this belief around your body. So this is a little seed belief. I want you to feel where that seed is in your body. Say the positive belief again. And where do you feel that? Do you feel that in your heart? Maybe you feel it in your head or your stomach. Tapping under the nose. Now I want you to say this belief again like you mean it. And I want you to let that little feeling grow. Tapping under the lips. I want you to let that feeling grow a little bit bigger. And take your body with it. Tapping your chest. Say that belief again, this new positive belief. I'm allowing myself to have what? Is it a relationship that honors me? Is it right prosperity for doing work that is loving and meaningful to me? Tap the front of the ribs. What is it that you're manifesting? Say it again. Say it like you mean it. Let's go. Letting that belief expand again into your lungs. Tap the side of your ribs. Breathe it into your lungs. Tapping the inside of your wrists. Let it breathe into your back. What would it feel like to have this truth in your back? Big deep breath. Breathing this belief into your spine. Imagining your life having this as a foundation truth for you. I am loved. I am worthy. I am paid good money for doing something that I love to do. That's good for me and good for the world. What is your new belief? Say it again. Tap your index finger. Breathe it into your shoulders. Tap your middle finger. So you're aligning yourself with what the divine wants for you right now, because the divine wants all things that are good for you. The divine wants you to be happy and prosperous and to feel uplifted and clear and steady and strong and vigorous and healthy. Tap your little finger and breathe again. So you don't have to ask for those things. Those things are granted. All you have to do is agree with those things. Tap the side of the hand. I'm allowing myself to agree with having what in my life? Say it out loud, specific to the topic that you're working on right now. Knowing that you can come back and do this video in the library anytime you want and work on multiple different issues. But stay focused in this one area right now. Tapping the top of your head. I am magnifying my ability to receive what? Okay, tap your eyebrows. It's safe for me to do this. Tapping the cheeks. No matter how long I've struggled, tapping under the nose, I'm now willing to allow myself to be lifted. Tapping under the lips, because I'm letting go of the heaviness of what? What are 2 or 3 things that you know have been sagging you down in this area? What are you willing to trade? This is a trade-off. I'm going to give you these heavy sandbags, and you're going to let me raise up like a hot air balloon. It's a good deal, you guys. Tap the chest. I'm releasing the old heaviness of what? Fearing what? Believing what? Those beliefs that I picked up from where? Tap the side of your ribs. I'm willing to trade these old precious beliefs that I picked up from where? And I've been storing where? In my body. I'm trading them for a new belief that says what? Tap the index finger. It's safe for me to magnify this new belief now, to lighten up in this area. Tap the middle finger. I get to lighten up and line up with the goodness that the universe has for me. Tap the bottom of the 4th finger. I'm allowing myself to line up with love and truth and bounty. Tap the little finger. I allow myself to receive this. Okay? For you people, it is the 1 hour mark. If you don't have more than an hour, I love you. I bless you. I release you. I hope to see you in the circle again next week. For those who want to do the bonus round, keep tapping with me now. Tapping the top of the head, big breath. I'm allowing myself to line up. Tap the eyebrows, giving myself permission to heal what people in my family have held on to for generations, which is what? Tapping into the nose, big deep breath. Giving myself permission to do what? Tapping the chest. Even if I'm the first person in my whole family to ever claim what? Tap the front of the ribs. It's okay for me to claim this. I'm doing it for myself. Tap the side of the ribs. And I'm doing it for my whole bloodline. Tap the inside of the wrist, because when I raise myself up, everyone feels better around me. Tap the side of the thumb. When I raise myself up and release the fear and the pain and the struggle, everyone else feels it. And even if they don't know what's happening, they can feel the relief. Tap the middle finger. They can feel the rectification of aligning to something that feels better. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Releasing this for who? For myself and for who else? Tap the little finger. I'm allowing myself to clear this for myself. Tap the side of the hand for my mother. Tapping the top of the head. Clearing this for my mom and me. Tapping the sides of the head. And who else? My brother. Tapping the eyebrows. My sister. Tapping the temples. My father. Tapping the cheeks. Clearing this for my whole family. Tapping under the lips and for my relationships. Releasing the burden of this. Tapping the chest. It's safe for me to magnify this goodness into my life. Allowing my brain to receive this new information. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm allowing every cell in my brain to update and receive this new information. Tap the side of the ribs that says the struggle can finally end here. Tap the inside of the wrist that I'm allowed to prosper, to feel abundant. Tap the side of the thumb to release the old struggle around what? Tap the index finger. I'm allowing myself to trust that the universe wants what's good for me. Tap the middle finger. I accept all the learning that's been involved. So we're going to look back on it instead of being upset with ourselves or shaking our fists like, oh man, that was hard. It took too long. We're just going to send appreciation for the lesson that brought us to this point. That was a lesson, all right. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger, and it's okay that I got to learn about life like this. Okay? Tap your little finger. It's okay that I've been learning about life like this. Tap the side of the hand, giving myself permission now to heal this. Tap the top of the head. Again, what is it that you're bringing into your life? The possibility of having or doing what? Tapping the eyebrows, giving myself this new possibility of what? Tapping the cheeks and breathing. Allowing this to be true and normal for me. Allowing this to be true and normal for me. So tap the chest. What would it be like if this thing that you're wanting was in your life? Imagine how you'd be feeling in your body right now, knowing that you already had it. Big breath. Feel your body relax around that. And this is what we call normalizing the experience. Tap the front of your ribs. I'm allowing myself to normalize this. It doesn't have to feel scary or exciting or weird or far away anymore. It can just feel normal. Giving myself this new normal. Giving myself this new normal. Tapping the index finger. What would it feel like again? Imagining that you already have the healed version of this. How are you living your life? It feels good. My body's like, oh, releasing. Tap the middle finger. How are you living your life? What are people saying about you? How are you interacting with other people? They're like, wow, they've really made it. They've got it together. I see the peace in their eyes. I see them being able to do what they want to do in the world. I see them looking healthy and feeling strong. Imagine people talking about you, being like, yeah, they've really, really hooked themselves up. I'm so proud of them. I feel so inspired. I see the changes that they've made, and I have so much respect and admiration for what it took to do that. Feel yourself living the experience and feeling normal in that new experience. Having what it is that you need and want and feeling like, yeah, this is good. Okay, let's do another check-in. I know these check-ins have been quite spacious tonight. Sometimes we have lots of little ones. Sometimes we have hardly any. Let's pause for a second and tune in. Where are you at in your issue? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most intense. Where are you at now? And what little piece might still be holding all this together that we haven't tapped on yet? Put a little word or two like, oh, I still have some fear. You know, I'm a 10, now I'm a 5. There's still this. Okay, Sky is saying she's about a 5. Rita is saying all the way down to a 3. Surya says hanging out at a 6, still not believing it's safe for the new pattern to come in. That's okay. Take your time with it. We know you'll get there, Surya. Jeremy, an 8 to a 6. Rick, all the way down to a 5, was up as high as a 9. That's great. Okay. Last call for chats. Here we see Rachel coming in at a 3. Just cleaning up the dust in the corners. Boom. That's got to feel good. Cole, definitely have uncertainty about how I'll walk with this, but it feels like a 3 that can jump. Definitely going to rewatch. Good. And sometimes a good night's sleep will make a big difference too, because you're doing a lot of clearing, and sometimes some of it happens in your dream time as well. Ursula, 9, 8, 7, stepping down. Old memories coming up. So that's going to be a gentle process, Ursula. Baby stepping through those old memories one at a time. Private sessions are really good to work on memories. And for those of you who don't know, there's a whole list of recommended practitioners, people I've spent years training and being in community with, and they're on my website, soniasophia.us, recommended practitioners. You'll see them. And they will give you a good deal because you're members of the circle. Feeling better and more empowered, still around a 3, says Lisa. Shelley, there's still some more to clear. Okay. Ashley Ann, down to a 6, still having a bit of fear putting the new habit into practice. That's okay. Hannah, all the way down to a 2, having fun playing with these new possibilities. Mateo, down to a 3, releasing sister's pattern I learned to get empowered, overwhelming amount of work hours. Okay. And thank you, Surya. He has put up the link for any of you who want to do a private session. And you guys, as great as the tapping circle is, a private session can knock it out of the park. So if there's something that you keep tapping in circle and all these different angles, go get yourself a private session or 2. See if you can finish that piece and come back to circle and do some a different piece. It sometimes is a very specific type of guidance that you need. Okay. Massaging the front of your chest, even though there's still a piece of me that has what, that's holding on to what, or feels what. Big breath. I'm open to loving and supporting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. This remaining piece. Tapping the temples. This remaining piece. Say it again. Tapping the cheeks, this remaining piece of what? Tapping under the nose, this remaining piece. Say it again. What's still there for you? Tapping under the lips. Even if a part of me doesn't really want to go there right now. Tap the chest. I've already moved so much. Why do I have to move at all? Tap the front of the ribs. Part of me doesn't really want to go there. Tap the side of the ribs. It's okay. And tapping the inside of the wrist. I accept this resistance. It's a natural part of me maturing this area of my life. Tap the side of the thumb. This resistance, a natural part of me healing and maturing this old pattern. Tap the index finger. Even though part of me wants to hold back here, tap the middle finger, because I secretly think what? What are you going to get out of holding back here? You're going to get to move at a pace that feels more doable? Are you going to get some pity or compassion from people around you or special support? What does the holding back gift you with? I'm allowing myself to release the need to add or prolong this pattern. Tap the side of the hand. I don't have to prolong this anymore. It's not really supporting me. Tap the top of the head. Giving myself a new possibility here, even if I have an old pattern of what? What is the old pattern that we're working on? I'm tapping the top of the head and the sides of the head. This old pattern. Say it out loud again. And if you don't know what I mean by pattern, it could be just the old habit of doing something that you know isn't really serving you, but you're doing it anyway. Big breath. I love and respect myself. Tapping under the nose and under the lips. I'm allowing myself to come back into a place of balance and peace. Tap the chest, to enter into a new place that I've never been before. Tap the front of the ribs. There's a new possibility here. Tap the side of the ribs. Describe the possibility again that you're creating and what it is you're choosing to magnify. Giving myself this new possibility, even if part of me still feels a little fearful or resistant. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm giving myself this new possibility in order to activate what? What's the benefit of giving yourself this new possibility? What would it give you? Would it give you more time? Would it give you more energy? Would it give you a stronger sense of peace or love or healthy self-esteem? Would it give you more income, ability to create or support? Tap your little finger. I'm allowing myself to magnify the blessing of what? Of having what? I'm allowing myself to magnify the blessing of having, say again, what it is you're bringing into your life. Tap the top of the head. And I'm willing to pay attention to all the ways this is already manifesting. So this is the whole point of this tap that I wanted to get to. How is it that this piece that you're calling into your life is actually already starting to manifest, even from the dimmest desire that may have been blocked with all these things that we've just been processing out of the way? What is this little seed already showing in your, how is it already showing in your life? In other words, what are you grateful for that you know is connected to this, that's already in place and that's starting to develop? Because a lot of times, imagine we plant a seed and we're looking at the sprout and we're yelling at the sprout, when are you going to turn into a cherry tree? When are you going to finally give me fruit? Come on, you little twig. And the tree's like, I'm actually already growing. You're just going to need to be patient and give me some love, right? So let's give that little sprout some love. It's probably already growing in your life. What are 2 or 3 ways that you could say thank you that relate to what it is you're bringing in? In other words, if you're tapping on money, you know, I noticed that I paid my rent this month. I noticed that I had enough money to buy food. I noticed that I actually got an increase, a bonus. I got something that showed me I was doing well. What is it that you could be grateful for that would be water to this little seed? Noticing that it's already growing. In other words, if this were a little twig, we'd say, you've already got 3 leaves, you little cherry tree. You're doing great. And the little thing has another leaf or 5 the next day because it finally got some appreciation. So we're going to water it with our loving attention and our gratitude. So 3 more things to be grateful for that somehow may be connected to this coming into your life. You're pulling it into your life by accepting it. You're pulling it into your life by believing that it could be. You're watering it and growing it into something fruitful with gratitude. I'm grateful for what? You have gas in your car? You got a belly that works? You got legs that work? You got internet? Tap the temples. I'm grateful for what? Okay, you're going to get a super duper bonus round by saying 10 things that you're grateful for, even if they don't seem related to this. They probably are. I'm grateful for what? It could be something very simple. I'm grateful that I have my eyesight right now. I'm grateful that I can breathe easily. I'm grateful that I don't feel pain in my teeth right now. I'm grateful for being able to sleep through the night. I'm grateful for the people in my life that love me and want to be with me. I'm grateful for what? Keep tapping. Tap randomly all over your body. 5 more things. Go. We're going to wrap it up. Grateful for... We're going to give all this gratitude to Great Spirit, to the universe, to the divine, and say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. So good job, everyone. We are magnifying and magnetizing the miracles by cleaning up things that were not in resonance, by bringing in the gratitude and holding this energy of normalizing it, meaning it is done, it is done, it is done. So thank you for tapping along with me. I love you so much. I'm excited about where this circle is taking us all. And so grateful to Mateo and Surya for showing up, showing us what real men look like, who do their inner work, who show up, do what they say they're going to do, and support love and wisdom. In particular, in the form of the divine feminine. These guys are really, really clear about the feminine aspect of themselves, and they're very strong and supported with their beautiful, capable hearts. So I respect you both so much. And I'm so grateful for you all who are still in circle with us right now. Love you, and we'll see you next week.